Warning, the following may contain awakened shrubs. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced, battle has begun. While Master Sunna and the Paladin Bernard take on the vampire Kareeza, Jean and Kellen fight off the Vistani troops.
Good. And Jean, it's your turn. You've got these 3, there's 4 Vistani in total. You can tell that Kellen has all but killed the guy that's impaled on his blood spear at the moment. You've got the 3 shooting at you, and then you've got this sword fight of this balletic sword fight taking place just a short distance north of you.
Well, I guess they didn't learn their lesson. I will have to use another fireball. Oh, this is so much better than just honking on the concertina.
So the issue with the fireball, I've been trying to.
Yes. Yes.
The problem is these guys are now the remaining guys are pretty close to your friends. So if you can see, you're down here.
I don't have any friends.
So if you fire a fireball up at these 2 crossbow, at the 2 crossbow people furthest north of you, you will hit Bernard and Master Sunna. If you fire at the other, you will hit Kellen. So they're within, all of them are within 20 feet of your comrades now. So you're
saying that I brought a bazooka to a knife fight?
Well, yes.
Okay.
So, and you can do it. I'm not stopping you. I just wanted you to be aware you will hit someone, depending on someone
but not the handsome man, right?
Well, you could hit him.
I could hit him.
Your option is to either hit him and Master Sunna, or to hit Kellen.
No, I'm
feel free to hit me.
I do, and I will.
Free.
I think instead, though, I will cast Spirit Guardians.
Wow. Okay.
Does that seem like an excessive use of force?
I have no idea. This is something you've not done before.
I thought so. Let's see. It only affects evil, right? Okay. You call forth spirits to protect you. Yes. They flit around you at a distance of 15 feet for the duration. If you are good or neutral, their spectral form appears angelic or fey, your choice, and I will choose fey. If you are evil, they appear fiendish. And then you have to take wisdom saving throw 50.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry?
Okay, so you have cast this, and they're within 15 feet of you.
Yes.
So it says here that if a creature gets into that 15-foot area, they have to then take that wisdom saving throw. So what you would have to do is cast that and then move towards the Vistani to get them into that, because you're currently 30.
I have to move?
You're currently 30 feet away from them. Now, it is actually possible for you to move to get all of the remaining guys. If you move within 10 feet of one of them, you'll actually be within 50. With the one in the middle, you'll be within 15 feet of them all. So
that was always my plan.
You could catch them all. And it does also say here that when you cast this spell, you can actually designate who you do not want to be affected by it. So you could specifically say, not Kellen, Bernard, and Master Sunna. Or, you don't have to include all 3. It's
totally honestly, I have grown very attached to Bernard, and I've grown accustomed to the smell of the barbarian, and Master Sunna is of course our finest fighter, so she must be protected as well.
Okay, so you're casting Spirit Guardians?
Yes.
And what does it look like? Because this is our first time seeing this particular conjuration.
Well, these specters rise from the ground like tendrils of illuminated mist, and they have sort of distended features which are horrible to behold if you are a foe, and so they strike fear into the heart of my enemy.
Okay, and are you walking to within 10 feet of
Yes,
the guys
yes.
so that they're all affected. Now, I mean, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'm just letting you know you will now be within 20 feet of Kareeza.
I'm not afraid.
Okay. So I'm going to take wisdom saving throws for all the banditos, the Vistani. So the first one gets 13 versus AC. Did you say 15 was your...
That is correct.
Save? So they fail. The next one gets 15. So they actually succeed in their save, and the last one gets 13. So 2 of them fail, 1 of them succeeds. Why don't you just roll your 3d8 radiant damage, and we'll see what happens.
Right, so the damage is 16.
The damage is 16. So the 2 that failed, they are... they do not make it. The one that that succeeded is alive but barely. But what does it look like as your spirit guardians tear into these opponents?
Well, the thing is, like, to me, they look like fairy kind. So they're these lovely, like, butterfly-winged fairies, just like kissing them to death and sort of embracing the skin from their bones. You know, just sort of like petting them down to their skeletons.
Excellent. So the survivor has actually had a good portion of her flesh torn away, basically, by these affectionate fairy guardians. So she, at the moment, is just looking on in horror as these strips of flesh are pulled off her. So we now only have 2 Vistani left. The one that Kellen has impaled, the stubbly guy, and then the one that Jean's spirit guardians are unpeeling. And we've also got Kareeza in hand-to-hand combat with our 2 warriors. Jean, you've already used some of your movement. Are you moving anywhere else, or are you happy to stay where you are?
I have a bouquet of bolts in my thigh. I think I shall stay right here.
Okay. First time. So if any creatures start their turn there, they also can potentially take some more damage as well. So that's actually quite a good spell.
Yes, it is.
So Master Sonna, it's your turn. I mean, you're aware of screaming behind you as more Vistani drop to the ground dead, but of course you've got Kareeza in front, who does not look particularly happy. You can tell that you have her panicked, although she's still quite spry.
I will still attack her with my sun sword.
Excellent.
With 23.
23 will hit.
With the undead... hang on.
I'm hanging on.
It's 14.
14 damage.
Yes.
Jinkies. Right. Yes, so again, you carve a new line across her. She's still here, but she's not in good shape. But we'll be surprised you to hear. You're rolling very well.
Yeah. So let's do it again. Extra attack.
Yeah.
With the sun sword.
Yes.
That's 16 plus 8 is 24 this time.
24 will hit, yes.
Okay, hang on. Since 6 is 11 plus... Well, that can't be right. 11 plus 3. Okay. Is 14.
14 damage, yes. I mean, this is bits of vampiric flesh start to fall off her now as the sort of these lines that you're cutting across her body just basically meet up, and big chunks of ash basically. It looks like it's flesh falling off her body, but they turn to ash as it falls away. She's clearly disintegrating as you look at her. She's still got some fight left in her though, and she's just looking at herself in disbelief.
And I'll just slap her around the face again.
Okay.
Unarmed is 11.
Okay, 11 will not hit.
Okay.
So I think what we'll actually say is that maybe your hand would have made contact with her face, but it's actually a part of her face that's already dissipating. So it just passes through ash as you pass through there. It's just nothing for you to actually harm her further with. And it's her turn, and she just looks on, and she she looks back at you, her hands as the ash sort of floats away from them, and she says, he promised it would not be like this. And she goes for one last attempt at you. She's slashing at you first for 8 slashing damage, which clearly does not attack. So instead, she... Nope. Never mind, that doesn't happen. She can't bite you yet. So one last claw, just for your face as hers fades away. She claws one last time for your face. She gets 17 versus AC.
No.
What? No?
It's got 18
That's
AC.
Ridiculous. Monks are ridiculously imbalanced. No, she... so she
Benedict
again...
sounds so disappointed.
I really am. She actually... I mean... Probably she was fast enough to potentially make contact with you, but what happens is as she rakes her fingers aren't there anymore, basically, because that part of her flesh is dissipating as well.
It's very sad.
Kellen, it's your turn.
Kareeza.
You've got this guy screaming in your face. You've just broken his wrist. What's your plan?
I'll do more work with my blood spear.
Yeah.
Dental work?
I get those. There we go. I don't think an 11 will hit.
No, it will not.
But I get a couple more. Oh, a natural 20.
Okay.
Oh,
listen,
hooray!
honestly, you can roll it if you want to, but you don't need to. you can just tell us what happens.
Exact same thing as the other one.
Yep.
No, sir. If there's a blood spill and a fiend involved, you must describe it.
Lots of blood.
Oh, okay, fine. I skewer him like a shish kebab.
Oh, very, very evocative.
His heart pops out of the back of his back, still pumping for a few instants before finally just going.
Oh my God! That's the first time I've ever seen that.
I'll take a bite of the heart, and as I do,
Okay.
I get extra hit points because it's a blood spear.
Oh wow! This is wow.
I take back everything I suggested before. I think we were just fine with etc. etc.
Can we please just let him shove his spear through the back of someone's head again next time?
Something like cannibalism.
Kellen, Kellen's still got an action left, does he?
I have another attack left. Yeah.
Because the final Vistani that Jean's spirits have been tearing apart is within 5 feet of you, so you could dispatch her.
No, not for long. 20.
Yep. Again, do you want to just tell us what that looks like? No, back of the head.
All right, back of the head. But I do it. I stop the spear before it comes out of her forehead. But the force of the blow is such that both of her eyeballs pop out, and then she falls to the ground lifeless.
Excellent. Good. Right. And that's it. So Kareeza is the last opponent standing, and it's time for Bernard. So, Bernard, you've got this dissipating vampire lady in front of you. What's your plan?
Is she actively dying, or is she going to stay in a state of constant dissipation?
Well, role play wise, she doesn't look like she's going to last much longer. She's still alive, and there's no ongoing damage being applied to her.
Okay. So Bernard flips his great sword up, catches it with both hands, and goes for a decapitating blow.
Okay. Do you want to roll your decapitating blow?
All right. So he gets a 8 plus 5 is 13. Mm-hmm. Unlikely.
13 does not hit. No.
I continue the blow. I spin all the way around, and I come back for a second one.
Okay.
And that one is another 8. So no, I just spin in another circle, and then I try to play it off by just walking away.
Okay.
It's a good thing he's so pretty.
Yeah,
so
I just walk away like Master Son. I don't even need to be here.
Well, we'll say Kareeza actually, with her lightning fast reflexes, actually catches the blade as it, just between her fingertips as it approaches her neck, and she looks straight at you with her disintegrating eyes, and she says, "Not today."
Well, in
probably
3 minutes, maybe 2 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Jean,
isn't that what we say to the god of death?
Jean, you still got your...
I am pretty lethal sometimes.
You still got your guardian spirits around you. You can see Kareeza is the only creature left here. What's your plan?
I suppose I should move closer to her. That makes sense, doesn't it?
So you can certainly move close enough to her that your guardian spirits start to pay attention to her as well. So I'm just going to make a quick roll for her. Now she actually succeeds in her wisdom saving roll because she rolled ridiculously high, but you still get to do damage to her anyway because you only give her half damage and it's radiant damage. So will you still roll your 3d8 and we'll see how much damage your spirits cause her?
Okay, hold on. 10
in total. So what happens is that the your apparitions start to as normal reach down and peel parts of her away, and they take off fingers. One of them grabs at her face and comes away with her nose and part of her cheek, and she's just, these things are just tearing her apart. You actually still have an action. She's still alive.
So if I cast like the Eldritch Spark, does that hurt people who are engaged to her?
No,
engaged with her?
You'll be fine. Your only restriction here is that Spirit Guardians is a concentration spell, so as long as you cast something that's not another concentration spell, it'll keep on going, and you can, unless it's like Fireball. Fireball specifically just hits everything in an area around where it hits, so Eldritch Spark just targets the individual that you're shooting at.
Should we spare her?
For what?
An interrogation.
But she probably killed the innocent guard lady.
He makes a good point. Okay, so I bring the Eldritch Spark to my fingertips, and the electricity is leaping from my fingers in a very threatening manner. And I say, would you parley with us, or would you have me finish you off?
Do you want to take on an intimidation check?
Absolutely I do. I'm very intimidating. I have a +6 intimidation. This is going
to be. Does he get a bonus because of the bouquet of crossbow bolts?
He gets a bonus because of that. Let's just see what he rolls.
18.
18. So she, she's been torn apart by the spirits. She's her flesh is decaying, and she looks at you, and there's just intense hatred, Jean, looking at you. With all the brief history that you guys have. You have a memory of her, wishing to torture you as you were tied to the pole in the Vistani tent all those many moons ago. But suddenly she just looks incredibly tired. The hatred just gives way to just fatigue, and she falls to her knees, and as she does so, there's a trail of ash sort of floats above her. You can see she's not long for this world, and she lowers her head, and she says, also she mutters again, she just says, "He promised it would not be like this any longer. He promised I would not be beaten again."
Well, and don't think of it as losing. Just think of it as like the alternative to winning. I for one am glad that you have come to your senses. I think that what we need to do here is just agree to disagree, and we part ways, and you can go and live a. I'm just kidding. I want you to tell us everything you know about Lestrade. Hey, tell us it all. Where does he live? What are his favorite foods? How can we kill him?
I do. Are these serious questions?
I have sparkly fingers. Do they not sound serious? Yes. If you were going to kill him, which you aren't, but if you were, what would you do?
Kill Strahd? How could I kill Strahd? Strahd is...
Exactly, yes. How could you kill Strahd?
Yes, he is more than just a mere vampire. He is the land. He is everything around you. To kill him would be to somehow kill this whole land. I do not believe it is possible.
Okay. Anyone else have questions they would like to ask before Magic Fingers?
So it's like his life force is tied to the lamp?
You must understand, nobody here can remember a time before Strahd. Not only is he a vampire, but he is interwoven with the history of this place. You see that you have all come here from different worlds. Is that not correct?
There is nothing out in the world that we exist now. It is only Barovia. There is nothing beyond the mists that have taken you here. There is no land lying outside this place. This is just, we are within Strahd himself, this place, Barovia.
It's like a suburb. I understand, yes. So, if we kill him, does everyone die in the land? Is it all implode?
And she gives a chuckle at that, and she says, if you kill him.
I'm sorry, when we kill him.
I do not think you are listening to me. I do not believe it is a possibility.
Okay.
I cannot recall ever seeing anyone harm him in the slightest, let alone kill him.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the class?
Why did the Vistani ally themselves with him?
We have a long history with Strahd. Our fates have
we got all kinds of time.
Strahd is good to us, so we obey him. He allows us to come and go to other worlds beyond this one. But here, he allows us dominion over the people that he otherwise subjugates. So we, of course, we honor him and we fear him as well. We do not want to be the ones underfoot. So we played his game and we are rewarded for it. It has always been this way.
Have you ever eaten a nightmare cookie? Like, would you call it like a pleasant trip, or is it just a bad soup to nuts experience? Like you're not going to enjoy it.
Are you possibly referring to the dream pastries?
Yes. That's what I was referring to.
No, I have not sampled them. No, we have been warned by many, by our parents to never talk to the ladies who sell those.
That was my instinct as well. I don't know if I have any more questions. Wait,
does Strahd ever get like food delivered? Maybe if we made a cake out of nightmare pastries, we could send it to him like a birthday,
a blue
present.
apron sort of thing. Yes.
And then all of a sudden he's poof.
On the rare occasions that the master does hunger, he provides his own meals.
Oh, yes, he probably just eats people. That is part of it, right? Yes, he just eats people. I don't think we should send him people. I don't.
He doesn't have a sweet tooth.
For now, he hungers only after one person in all the land.
Oh, that's right. Where is she?
Irena.
We know where she is, yes. Is that a trap? Do you know if that's a trap? Oh. Well, we're going to kill her anyway. Now it's out of the bag. Sparky Fingers,
You are going to kill me?
Oh, no, we're not going to kill you.
Promised. You said.
No, I was just joking. We're all having fun here.
You got a zapper now.
I do. I know I do. All right, so
she, like you can see a spider when it sort of tenses before it runs, and you can see her hunch up, hands and feet on the ground. These wisps of ash still peeling away from her, revealing just grey bone underneath on her joints in particular, and she's tensed, ready to leap, and she leaps away into the trees. To try to escape from you guys. What's your plan?
How far away is she?
It's my turn. I can.
No, I didn't do a thing yet.
Okay,
I was just
what's
talking.
What's your plan, Jean?
Just on, kill her.
Okay. No more Sparky Fingers. Going to Fireball.
Okay, Fireball in the trees.
Yes.
Are
they dry and brittle?
Listen, she was down to 1 hit point, and she's going to take half damage anyway. So, what does that look like?
It looks like I've set the forest on fire. No. It looks like there was a person there, and then there was a shape of like a sort of sunburst that was sort of person-shaped, and then there was just a waft of like burning dead flesh that we all had to enjoy together.
Okay.
Oh, is that you? Is that you, Kellen? Maybe it's just Kellen.
Okay. Congratulations, Jean. You have killed a vampire.
Woohoo!
Well done.
Didn't Strahd say that every time we killed a vampire, he was going to kill one of us?
Yeah, and I think he's going after Jean now.
Yeah.
Well, I've just lost one of the bolts in my thigh. That just totally like
Pure coincidence that I missed those 2 slashes.
Okay, guys, victory is yours. Hurrah! You have defeated the vampire Kareeza with great ease.
Good luck.
We spend the next 2 hours putting out the forest fire.
Level 9,
No,
right?
Wait,
can we check
actually,
the,
it's shroud is the
lady?
land. If we burn the land down,
But can we
That's
first
true.
check the guard lady if she's like dead, or is she just badly
yeah,
hurt?
she's dead.
Oh, there was that hostage. Yes, we should go check on her.
No, she's dead.
I love the way that you guys are doing this all so well in character. Like Master Son is the only one concerned with the innocent life, and that's good. That's good.
No,
It's
she was
good.
thrown
It's good
against a
role-playing,
tree.
guys.
There was a
It's
really
good.
ominous crack.
So
She fell to the floor and hasn't moved since.
So the you
Maybe she's just resting.
No, you head on over, guys, and you can see that she is alive. Thank goodness. Very shallow breaths,
Knew it.
however, a barely undetectable pulse. You can tell that she has been badly mistreated before you saw her, and then Kareeza has dealt her an awful blow.
Can I use like healing word? I can use healing word.
There
You can try.
Try. I pull out my concertina and said, "It is your lucky day. It's not every day you get a private performance from thee, Jean Marlamé. Hold your applause for the end. Hold your applause, please. I'm going to use me second level healing word spell.
Okay, and what does that do?
2d4 plus 4.
Okay, do you want to roll them?
9.
Okay, so the young woman, for a moment, there doesn't seem to be any effect whatsoever, and then her her eyelids tremble. You can see there's movement underneath, and they flutter open, and she turns up to look at you standing above her, and she gives a weak smile, and she says, "I knew you'd come. I knew you'd save me."
Of course we would. Of course we did. We thought of nothing but you since we last parted. What's your name? Who are you?
I have not actually introduced myself to you yet. My name is Stefania.
We will not remember that. Okay.
My companions are they safe?
We don't know. We were going to ask you.
I don't.
I'm sure they're fine.
I don't recall we were attacked in the middle of the night. I don't think it was tonight. It must have been yesterday, maybe a few days ago. I don't know. I was knocked out almost immediately, and I haven't seen them since. I've just been pushed around and shoved around, and
but not bitten.
Well, and she turns her head to show you her neck, and her neck is raw and bloody. She's clearly been chewed on.
It was so nice to meet you, Stefan. Was it Stefani? Stefan? I think we should probably get a shovel.
It was Stefania. Was her name? It's her name. She's fine.
So
Is she still hurt?
Kneels to at her side. She's still lying down, right?
Yeah, she's weak. She's actually, you can see you've done all you can for her with regards to health-wise, but she's still weak and recovering from her experience.
But not a vampire.
Well, you guys, some of you guys have been bitten by a vampire as well, so it's a survivable experience.
Yes.
Dory took more than his fair share of nibbles.
That's true. Can we really sort of our check to make sure she's not going to become undead and then undead us?
Do you want to take a religion check?
I don't
I'm
pray.
An acolyte. I can
Yes.
do that. What do
I
do?
can remove disease if she's got
My religion is plus.
vampirism.
So do I add +3 to the D20, or do I have to?
Yeah. If you've got +3, you just roll your D20 and add 3.
That's 18.
18. So you are pretty confident. I mean, you look over her wounds seem clean. You do a wee prayer. You reach out with your sort of inner peace or whatever you do to get in contact with the Morning Lord, and you don't
I'm so zen.
Sorry?
I'm so zen.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And you don't get any sense of any malevolence festering within.
So she seems to be clean from this darkness.
And as you are sort of looking over her, Master Son, as she reaches out and grabs you
Bites your neck.
Presses her, puts her arm on your shoulder, and she says, What will happen next? What's going to happen now?
Are you strong enough to return to Vallaki?
And this is when she really grips you tighter. It was all when the first time she put her hand on your shoulder, she was weak and you felt that was all she could muster. But her eyes, really properly open now in fear, and you can feel her grip your shoulder. And she says, "Alone? Travel alone?"
Yeah, that's not a good idea. How about, where were you ambushed? Do you remember the location?
We had travelled on to Kareeza, as I had discussed with yourselves. We stayed the night there, and we were ambushed travelling back.
How far away from Kareeza?
We were on the way to... where are we on? We're going to go back to the winery with the vineyard.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are on the road west from Vallaki, and the road west actually leads to the vineyard and Kareeza. There's a crossroads, or there's a sort of T-junction situation that you guys travelled to last time, and you guys went southwest to the winery, but if you went northwest, it would be to Kareeza.
So how about if she comes along with us for a bit of the way?
Based on the maps that you've seen, you gather that you'll arrive at Kareeza sometime tomorrow, or the winery sometime tomorrow, depending on where you're going.
So I will say that I'm low on spells, which means I cannot cast my fabulous palace. So perhaps we should find somewhere to, rest.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
Under the burned out trees?
Probably not, no.
Well, you have to admit that this is probably the last place anyone's going to be running to anytime soon. We have made quite a spectacle of ourselves, although we did kill a vampire. We should probably hide. Is there a hole?
They're all like the dead people, like.
Yeah,
I don't mean on the dead people. I mean, maybe paces away.
We could maybe put them all together and cremate them or something, with a spell.
3 of them have been cremated already.
That's
it's true. We're very efficient, and they're already in little urns, and we've mailed them to their mothers.
Excellent. How about we go along the road, down the road for a little bit longer, but keeping to the cover of the trees, and maybe we get to a point where it seems to be sheltered enough.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to take a survival check?
All of us, or just
whoever is leading the way?
Oh, survival is not going to be me. Yes, you should lead the way.
Okay.
Who else has got good survival?
I have 0.
Kellen?
Surprisingly, for a barbarian, I have very poor survival skills, but I'll try it anyway.
I got a 16.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's not good. I got 5.
So,
Bernard leads the way.
Kellen's obviously still recovering from his barbaric rage. Jean is Jean. So I imagine Kellen and Jean, you may be helping Stefania. So Bernard and Master Sona, you're leading the way. Master Sona, as you continue to walk through the forest, you're just sort of north of the Sphalic Road, just staying within sight of it. You get this sense of jubilation. From your sunblade, you almost feel as if it's singing to you at the moment. It's just so overjoyed that it's found somebody who can do, who will do what you have just done, stood up against the forces of evil. Oh
wait, that was a slip.
No. That was not. That was just the.
Are you a vampire?
Just the painkillers. It was. As you continue to head west, maybe in about half an hour, you find just this wee area where 2 trees have overturned in roughly the same location, and their upturned roots have created this sort of natural shelter that you reckon, Bernard, it would be a good place just to. Or a safe enough place that you're going to find without actually finding any kind of habitation in order to settle down and try to get to sleep.
Great.
Okay. What's the old watch situation going to be, guys?
I think
good
Kellen,
things happen when I'm on watch.
Yes,
so
I think that
I'll
we
take
should have paired up. Someone should be paired with Kellen.
I'll take first watch.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay, so do you guys want to take your perception checks then, please? Stefania falls asleep almost straight away.
And since I'm exhausted, I get a disadvantage.
Okay. That was a good idea.
Maybe I should go last, guys.
I have 22.
Okay. So
Jean stays awake.
Kellen falls asleep, but thank goodness Jean was there, and nothing untoward. You don't hear anything, but of any note, Jean. You're obviously on high alert at the moment after the earlier events of the night. We'll just go for one more. Who's on the final watch?
I'll take it.
Okay, so Bernard, go for it. How are you doing, by the way? After how's Bernard doing after?
He's walking around with 2 crossbow bolts in him, but otherwise he's pretty good.
What does he get up to while everyone else is asleep?
My perception is 0, so I got 13.
13. Yeah, so you don't notice anything in particular.
All right.
Yeah, and we'll say that the sky greys as morning breaks, and I'll just double it up with the fact that you did get a bit of rest because no Kellen wasn't first watch last time either. So we'll say we managed to get a long rest, guys. Hit points back up.
Hey!
Not exhausted anymore. All spells recovered. As you start to rise, Stefania is still fast asleep, snoring like a baby at the moment. Every so often she whimpers in her sleep until obviously it's really taking its toll. You realise you have a visitor.
Jenny Green Teeth.
No.
Or Strahd.
No, please, let's
John
try.
has his ballad prepared.
Perched above one of the upturned tree roots is an oversized magpie.
Oh, good. Oh, I've never wanted to kiss a bird before.
Crit-Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast, where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcast.com and join our Crit-Faced fan group.